Okay. Can you hear me, Margary? Can you hear me, Margary? Can you hear me? Say I can hear you wherever you're watching me from. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. All right, Mason, welcome. And Margary, you're also welcome. You're also welcome. We have other people watching from other platforms, watching from Facebook, LinkedIn. They are watching from you're watching from YouTube. Other platforms are connected, and we'll begin shortly. All right. Okay. So today we'll be looking at performing footprinting through internet research services. Of course, this is an important aspect of ethical hacking that everyone needs. Be it a professional, you are an individual, you own a business, you need footprinting. It's very important. Now, I'm just going to explain the importance of footprinting apart from the tech side of footprinting. Okay. I believe that footprinting can be used for strategic intelligence gathering. I have people watching me from Zoom, but I might not be able to connect you guys. Please use YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or other platforms. Okay, so now as an individual, I'm still coming to the tech aspect of uh, footprinting. Number one, you will be able to understand your competitor's strength. You will understand their weakness and the tools they use and their technologies. For it, if you know that your competitor is using a particular technology that is making their platform strong and helping them build an online presence, then you can also use same technology. So you can understand your competitor's strength, weakness, tools, and technologies. Now, footprinting can also help you analyze the market. Very, very important. Very, very important. You can analyze the market and then you know the trends, you know your competitors' positioning. Now you can also identify gaps. You look at the offerings from your competitor and spot out opportunities from the gaps. All this can come from footprinting. So people should not understand that footprinting as part of the ethical hacking phase is just for the ethical hackers or pen testers. Individuals also can benefit from this skill. Okay. Now, for persons who are not tech inclined, they can use this to gather information about a company before an interview, their challenges, because if you are able to talk about their challenges and how you can help them solve their problem, you are likely to be hired. The possibility of you being hired is 70%. You look at their tech stack and what you could do to improve that. You look at their culture and positioning. Then now you can tailor your resume or CV and pitch it to align with the organizational value or the employer's value and tools. You understand? You will rebuild your CV, add like benchmarks, skills, and certifications to match the organization you'd be visiting for an interview. Yes. Okay. Again, for business owners, very, very important. Before I move forward, let me talk about business owners. Now, you can find clients using this. You can identify business. Please, if you have questions, you are free to ask me questions, and I would answer to them. So we are talking about footprinting here, and why everyone needs to learn footprinting, not just the tech guys or the ethical hackers or cybersecurity professionals. So I've been talking about why individuals, business owners, business professionals, lawyers, no matter your field or career, why you need to learn footprinting. And after that, I would also make progress to talk about the tech side of footprinting. Very, very important. If you have questions, note your questions because we are going to take questions and respond to them. And if you have people you might want them to be part of this program, you could share this update to them so that they will join us, no matter your country. We have people watching us from Germany, Elias watching from Germany. We have UK also. We have Nigeria. Mason, where are you watching from? And we have Margari. Okay. All right. And some other persons I cannot identify, but wherever you're watching us from. Now, look at this. Let me talk about the business, guys. I've said you'll be able to identify clients. You're searching for clients. You can find clients. You can find clients' phone numbers, client email addresses, clients' business pain points, technology stack that might need improvement if you want to pitch. Do you understand? So you can also detect their underserved areas. Do you understand? So you can detect their I would call it ripe for value added services. Do you understand? There are services that they should have, but they don't have. Probably they don't know that they should have it, or they lack the capacity to implement such services. And then you can pitch that to them. Now you're not a tech guy, but you're a business person or a consultant. But you need this information to be able to gather your facts and then put your pitch together or your proposal to get this client. All right. So if your proposal cannot add value to the company, of course, nobody's getting back to you. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. And for leaders, policymakers, politicians, you can also use this for research, targeting gaps in the internet politics. You can position yourself based on the informed insights gathered. Very, very important. I've outlined about 20 ways this could benefit everyone. So, without much ado, let me not dwell more on the other part. Let's look at the tech side of footprinting. Very, very important. Very, very important. One of the reasons why we're here. So the first one there, you will learn how to find company domain, subdomain, and host. Company domain, subdomain, and host. Now, I'm going to allow you because what we want to do is practical. Please, if you have a domain you want us to use for this class or training, please comment that domain and then we'll use that domain for our practical class. All right. So if you have the domain, comment the domain. I will pick it up and I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm waiting for a domain. Okay, we're back. All right, let's continue with this. So, as a cybersecurity professional or an ethical hacker or even a pen tester, you should be able to mine or extract sensitive information about a target or organization from the internet. All right. Now, this includes both the surface net, the dark net, the dark web, or the deep web. All right. Okay, so for today, we want to focus more on gathering uh, companies, domain, subdomain, and hosts. Very, very important. Please, if you are still with me, kindly identify. So next on my slide, as you can see above, you can see that domains and subdomains are very important part of the CNI. CNI means critical network infrastructure for any organization. Okay, subdomains can provide you with useful information about the organizational history, the servers, hidden services, email services configured or misconfigured. You'll be able to find security information and products, including contact information. Now, most of these developers or people in charge of this infrastructure, they deploy some test products they deploy some subdomains as a test domain and every other kind of domain, thinking there are no ways to get to them. You understand? So, but if they can be part of this kind of program, they will understand that nothing is hidden, including the subdomains that they are hiding. Many of these subdomains are part of the intranet. So having a good knowledge of what they have or what they are trying to hide or what they are hiding will help you develop a map of what this operation looks like from the outside. And next, we're going to look at what we'll be digging out. We look at what we'll be digging out. So then, as you can see from here, the number one here I have hosting changes in the hosting providers over time. Now, here you'll be able to find out how the company or the organization or the domain or the server have been moving from one hosting provider to the other. Now, from there, you can deduce why are they moving? What could be the issue? Are they moving from a high-level hosting provider to a low-level hosting provider, or from a low-level hosting provider to a high-level hosting provider, or from a normal hosting provider to a bulletproof hosting provider, or from an offshore? So all this information will give you an overview or an insight of what this organization is all about, and then you can begin to uh, gather your information from there. And number two, we have IP address and server location. Server location is very, very important. Okay, and the IP address that is pointing to this server is very, very important. Depends on where the server is located. UK, US, Germany, Nigeria, some servers are highly monitored. So if these servers are located in a good zone, that is being regulated and monitored, there are some kind of reputation that are being attached to this kind of servers. And there are some programs that can run on these servers, you know, because of the reputation they carry. And number three, we have server OS, web server softwares like the Apache and the rest of them. So you'll be able to gather information about their server operating system. Of course, from there, you can begin to understand the kind of weaknesses or vulnerabilities that may be attached to each software or operating system. Very, very important. And this is key. So if you have questions, don't forget to ask, drop your comments, questions, I will respond to them. And look at number four, SSL and TLS certificates can be gathered. You look at the issuer, expiration date, and the rest of them. Now, it's important to understand that the issuer of your certificate really matters. Do you understand? You have an ID card, you have a key. Who gave you that ID truly matters. If the ID was issued by someone in your village, of course, when you get to town, they might not honor it. Do you understand? So the issuer really matters. Do you understand? So we are working on a particular project and we discovered that the SSL and TLS certificate was issued by a vendor that lacks reputation. What it means is that that domain or server also lacks reputation. Number five, you'll be able to find domains hosted on the same IP. Now, one IP could be hosting several domains or several entities, objects, or application. So, using these techniques that we'll be looking at will help you find these domains hosted on the same IP address. Okay. Then number six, we have name servers. Okay, the DNS servers used by the domain can help you understand how the server works, very importantly, what it's pointing to, and some other services that may be running or attached or linked to the server. All this will help you understand the security posture of the server and the domain. Very, very important. If you have a question, you could ask. If you have one, ask a question so that we could make progress. If you have any question, and if you can hear me, kindly say I can hear you from where you are. Can you hear me? I want to be sure people are listening to me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Magari, are you there? Marcel. Okay. If you can hear me, I want you to comment I can hear you so that we can proceed. Okay. I can see I can hear you from some other platforms. Okay. How many I can hear you? I can see four, five, six, seven. If you have any questions so far, you could ask me before we proceed. You have any questions so far? I always like my teachings to be interactive. Okay, don't worry, we'll provide the tools. Okay, thank you, Pentest. I can see, I can hear you. All right. We're going to provide that. We provide the tools. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. So look at my screen. So I'm still talking about what you can find, when performing footprinting. So you'll be able to reveal the development or staging environment that have been deployed. Most of these developers upload they upload this they upload applications or softwares to some subdomains where they test them and they forget to bring them down. So you find this information and you'll be able to detect the CMS that was used to build the application or website, identifying their frameworks, whether Laravel, Angular, React, Node, JX, and the rest of them. Identify the framework that was used to build that application. Now, if there are tracking tools, if there are other softwares or scripts embedded on the server, you should be able to find that script also. And number five, one thing you can also find is if the server is a malicious one, or if the domain is a malicious domain, or has been reported, or may have been used for fraud or malicious activities, or is a scam IP or IP used for scam or sending spam. Spammers can use that server also. You check if that domain or server has been used for phishing. You can find all this information. So if that server has been down at any point in time, you should be able to find the same information. Okay, so we call that historical downtime. Historical downtime. I'm going to look at the next thing we can find. Next thing you can find here. Okay, so I have that on my screen. The mail servers, you should be able to find the mail servers. You should be able to find verification keys, the DMARC, DKIM, A records, that is the IPv4, AAAs, IPv6, all the records concerning the email server you should be able to find. Now, from here, you can determine if the server can be spoofed, if it can be hacked. You'll be able to find a lot of information from that server. Very, very important. The version and the kind of application being used by the organization. You know, Depending on the app and the version, that will determine if it's vulnerable or if it could be exploited. Very, very important. Very, very important. Have questions for me? You are free to ask that. Oh. So next we'll be looking at what we can find also. What we can find, and we can find relationship between domains and IP. Which domain is connected to which IP, and which IP is connected to which domain. Now, some organizations they have IPs that are hidden. So from domains that are public, we could trace hidden IP addresses. And we could also find domains that are sharing the same IP, because it's possible to hide a domain behind an IP. So we can find domains, applications that are hidden behind an IP address. Very important. And number three, you should be able to find the registrar where the domain was registered, when it was created, when it will expire, and every other information that is connected to that domain. Now, this is a weakness if it is open, because it could be used for phishing. And on the other hand, if it is not open, most of the times it could be suspicious. Very, very important. And number four, you could find open ports and services. And this could lead you to finding potential vulnerable services. Of course, this requires you to use some certain tools for scanning and all that. Very, very important. Very, very important. Now, we're going to look at the last thing you can do with footprinting. The last thing you can do with footprinting. Please, if you have questions, ask your questions. We just have few minutes for this class. The last thing you can do with footprinting. Now you can find employer email. Uh, if you are job hunting or you are searching for clients, a consultant, you're a lawyer, you can find company email, HR email, employee email. You could actually mail them or contact them for anything, whether job, business, or whatever, or internship. You could do that. Then you could find company information or leaked data on the darknet or deep web, all right, for ethical use only, please. And then using what we call the SNC, you could map out all employee email. That is, using SNC, you could get all the emails of everyone that has worked in that organization. And then from footprinting tools combined with other tools, you could verify and map email for accuracy. See that? So you can verify all the map email to make sure they are correct, that they don't bounce when you send them, which could in turn become harmful to you. Okay, if you have questions for me, let me know. And now this is the theoretical part of this program, and the footprinting practical will be this weekend. You can see the date and time. If you want to join the practical section, of course, some persons have paid for this program, so it won't be nice if I begin to unleash the tools and demons and showcase these things to the public while some persons have paid. So if you want to be part of the practical class, you also join. It's $100 for 1 year. 1 year, $100. So it's very, very affordable, and you could also pay monthly. I think it's $15, 15 USD monthly if you prefer to pay monthly. And the class is just once a week. All right, so it doesn't take much time. If you work weekends, you could adjust, just like 1 to 3 hours, 1 hour to 3 hours. You can do this. Then weekdays, if you have the opportunity, of course, you can work on them, you can practice, and then come back to me to ask questions as someone who has subscribed for this program. It's a 1 year online ethical hacking class with AI. This is the latest ethical hacking program. It's the latest ethical hacking program, because everything we'll be doing, it's tailored to the modern modules and tools, including AI. So this is ethical hacking class 2025 with AI. If you have questions for me, you are free to ask me now before we end this section in 5 minutes. If you have questions, you can ask me. You have any question for me? So we have talked a lot about footprinting, how it could benefit everyone, not just tech professionals, businessmen, leaders, medical directors, lawyers, engineers, everyone. Wherever you're watching me from, if you have a question, you can ask me. Don't come to my DM or my WhatsApp to ask me questions. Drop the questions now. I have the time to answer you in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes. If you have your question, you can answer. You can drop your question, sorry, and I will answer the question. All right, if you are interested in getting a certification, no matter where you are in the world, and no matter the certification in IT, we can provide a certification for you. Okay, from Set Plus, CompTIA, ISACA, ISC2, GI, all certifications, CEH from EC Council, all certifications will be able to provide that. CHFI, CSSP, CISM, all you can provide. CISC from ISACA, these are good certifications you could get to boost your career in cybersecurity. I'm here to get a question. I'm here to get a question. Any question from any of the platforms? No question yet. Okay. All right. All right. So if you are interested in joining the practical class, a lot of people have registered, and if you want to join the practical class, make sure you have a laptop that meets the requirements and a good internet connection, so that we can onboard you. You could scan the QR code on the screen or send a private message to us. Someone will attend to you and onboard you for the program. Okay, the practical class is starting officially this Sunday, starting this Sunday. So if you're yet to register, make sure you register. If you're going for the yearly program, you should be able to make payments before that time. If you're going for the monthly subscription, you should be able to make payments before that time. All right, I'm Ben Welja. I expect to see you in class on Sunday, 2000 GMT. Wherever you're watching from, convert this to your time. Of course, we'll always email you or you receive a notification when the class is about to start, or even a day before the class, 30 minutes before the class, you get a notification and someone will always reach out to you for readiness. Okay, thank you. From here, if you don't have a question for me, then it means you are good. Thank you.